All right. We are at the end of the David Tennant era of Doctor Who again. And of course, Russel T Davies has just been making so many choices that are bizarre. We know that he's agitating fans on intentionally. They're sticking middle fingers up at fans intentionally. We've covered this before, and of course, a lot of people have on the internet. Nerdrobotics posted today about, of course, just how horrible this last deal is. I mean, it's crazy if you think about the spoilers, I guess, for the Giggle episode, where the Doctor bi-generated and of course split himself by having a baby of himself, and of course shows up as a black man with no pants on in front of a bunch of white women. Very weird. And of course that's all intentional. They're doing this stuff, they're making the weird gross choices all the time in order to gaslight you as fans. They want to tell you, your fans, you're not welcome. They want to tell you that like everything you love is something they can just destroy. They're in charge and you're just a lesser being. And that's what this is about at the end of the day. It's just all about this clout. But they screwed something up. And I want to get into this in a bit because the Doctor now is not actually the Doctor. And so if you didn't watch this and you don't want spoilers, tune out. But like, I mean, do you care at this juncture? I mean, you shouldn't. Because Doctor Who is so far off the rails, it's just going to go down, down, down. So let's take a look at what they're doing. My name's John Delarose, by the way. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel already. I appreciate you guys being there. So I made this on the Fandom Pulse. This is my new pop culture news website. Make sure to bookmark this as well. It's fandompulse.com. And I said, Doctor Who casting director admits pushing anti-white agenda through casting choices. And if you look at this, I show the examples of this going on here. But then let's get into the bifurcation and what this actually does to Doctor Who. It's gross for one, and then the guy just like goes around calling everybody honey and all that, like a absolutely flamboyant homosexual through all this. But if you look at it, what happens in the episode, David Tennant exists. He's still the Doctor. He's still got the Doctor's powers. They even give him his own TARDIS. So this guy comes out of him as a bi-generation. By the way, that's intentional language too, because it's meant to evoke bisexual, and this is the bisexual generation, right? It's not about regeneration. It's using the word generation as a pun. Again, this is just brainwashing tactics for the youth. It's disgusting. But what they did here is they created this guy, and the Doctor realizes David Tennant goes, I'm the Doctor still, I'm the Doctor. And then this guy goes off and becomes his own copycat Doctor and goes off on his own adventures. So what they did in making this canon mistake is that they made this guy not the actual Doctor. He's some copycat clone running around while the actual Doctor is hanging out with Donna Noble and having tea parties and stuff. So that's what's going on here. The Doctor is no longer actually the Doctor. This is like some obvious attempt at fan fiction, and they're even signaling that to you in here. They're saying this isn't even the real canon anymore. This isn't even the real Doctor we're following anymore. This is just a cheap knockoff that we're making for diversity points for Disney Plus, and that's exactly what they're doing here. So it's really funny because they've invalidated their own canon in doing this. This is something that doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. Of course, the regeneration has been something that was done for a long time, and again, I'll show you how he's not the real Doctor again. The Doctor almost dies from the toy maker, and then the Doctor actually comes back to life, and then that bi-generation happens after the regeneration fails. So the Doctor's still there. He exists. He didn't die. He didn't regenerate. He is there, and then this guy pops out of him. So this is not the Doctor. Ncuti Gatwa is some random knockoff, and they let you know it. They let all the audience know it, and they think the audience just doesn't care and that you're too stupid and you're just going to follow it. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. I think it's great that they made this mistake. I think they can't help themselves because I think they're so egotistical, these writers. I think they're so egotistical, these producers, that they just think they can go in there and do anything and everybody will just accept it because we have the brand, my brand. And when you see them do something like this, it shows that their own hubris wrecks their own writing. Now, Russel T Davies doesn't even have any creativity anymore because, like, if you remember the last send-off that they did with the actual Rose, not the trans Rose, but the actual Rose, they had a split off of the Doctor before where David Tennant split himself into David Tennant and David Tennant, and him and Rose went off for a happy ending off into the sunset, just like this Doctor's going off with Donna Noble into the sunset. So Russel T Davies even ripped off what they already did. And so this is something that isn't new. It's not interesting. It's not some grand new thing. And of course, they're just making stuff up and then by generation, and then pretending like canon doesn't matter. It's a huge middle finger to fans. But again, at the end of the day, it's a cheap knockoff. It's bad fan fiction. Even if it's authorized, they know it at this point. They know that they're frauds. They know that they're fakes. And they're going to get what they're due because they're going to just sink this property into the ground. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.